Hey guys, welcome back to Touchline Podcast. This video, something that we've been doing a bit, conjoined video predicting our England squad for the 2021 World Cup. Joined with my right-hand man, Cameron.
Yeah, excited for this one, but there is a few, controversial ones, we shall say. But that's nothing new at Touchline, is it?
No, yeah, we're not. I'm not going to ask you how you've been because I'm not going to be one of them people that pretend like we've not spoke today and found out how we've been and stuff. I'm not going to bother doing that. I know we know all that stuff. We'll just get straight into it. I'll give you the honour of starting at the fullback.
Yeah. So for my number one position, I've gone with someone you should be familiar with, plays for your team. I've gone with Johnny Lomax.
Yeah, good shout, solid shout. Maybe we would have put him in the halves, especially after the 2019 year. But I think looking towards 2021, we'll get to him, but the two halves, I think it's going to be hard to beat. But and Lomax at number one.
I think, like you said, when you look back on the 2019 season, the season he had in that St Helens team, I think you look at the fullbacks for England that they can pick of at the minute, like Hardaker or Shaw or something like that. I think it's hard to not put Lomax in. I mean, you look at Hardaker, he's not the same player that he used to be, so...
And I think now fullback position, it's evolved to that sort of passing role. It's like an extra playmaker. So I think 100%. Lomax should fit in, and he's quick on his feet and stuff. So running out back behind the big men, passes off our halves, I think he shouldn't have any problems with it, really.
And I think what will help him is like the experience of playing halves. He's got the experience as where to be, and running up, backing up players.
I mean, even after his 2019 season, he still played at fullback.
Yeah.
For Great Britain. So what threat he causes. Getting 100%. Straight to it. I'll start with number 2, Cam. Golden Boot winner. Can finish from anywhere on the pitch. Solid in defence, and he proved it against New Zealand. Tommy Mack.
Yeah, I agree with that one again. I think, like you just said, Golden Boot winner. And in the Test series against New Zealand, he was just outstanding. He was the key player for the England team. And I think if you take him out of that squad, I think New Zealand beat us.
Yeah, you lose a weapon as well on the pitch, don't you?
Yeah.
Like you said, New Zealand beat us. There's not many that can. Well, was it? He scored a hat trick, didn't he? Against the Kiwis. So you lose that.
You look at him in like the grand final last year. Like he got hurt, but he's one of them players that plays through that type of stuff, and he ended up making the field goal at the end, didn't
he? Yeah. So I think, and he's one of them players that I think, especially now because he's played a couple of seasons. I think young lads that go into that England squad, because there'll be some Sean Wayne will definitely pick some young guns.
Yeah.
I think they'll kind of look up to that and sort of definitely improve from it.
Yeah, I think one person that can kind of, we'll talk about it when we get onto the next winger, but another player that stands out in our centres that we chose is Gilder as well. I think...
Yeah, we struggled with this, didn't we?
Yeah, I think, but you look at his debut for England and how well he played then.
Yeah.
I think, and how he's consistently played over like his time at Wigan as well. I think it's hard to not put him in.
I think, I know we're talking about England, but I just want to say, picking this team, it was quite hard, wasn't it? And when you look at it, you think, is this why the Aussies are so dominant? Their depth in squad is unreal.
I think you look at it as well. The England squad, it's not. There's a few, but there's no like standout players. Like you look at Australia and they can pick like Tedesco. Like big players. But you look at England and it's like they're all similar levels. Yeah. Whereas the players in Australia, there's normal players, then there's like the superstar players.
No, I fully understand that. I think we have been blessed with players though, England. Sam Burgess.
Yeah.
When we picked
there's like we have a few superstar players. Well, that type of caliber players, but I think you look at teams like Australia and New Zealand and stuff like that, they've got it throughout the squad and the bench.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You know, picking, like I said, the centre and our loose forward or lock, wherever you're listening from, it was hard because you didn't have the likes of Burgess anymore. Maybe not. We couldn't pick Graham because it's unsure on whether he's going to retire.
Yeah. And even likes of Sean O'Loughlin or something like that.
I was just about to say, yeah, Sean O'Loughlin as well. And you get after that and you think there's good players, but there's none of that standard, you know, that set that example.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to take the centre or am I taking the winger?
Yeah, so we said Lomax, Makinson, Gilder. So we'll move on to our next centre, if you want to say
it. Percy.
Straight to it, Percival.
You know, speaks for himself. He's, I think the best way I can describe him is using what Mark Flanagan said in an Out of Your League podcast with Alex Walmsley. And he said, Mark Percival is probably the best improvising player of the last 15 years.
Yeah, I think you look at it.
No, I was just going to say, I think I was going to say the same as you. When you watch him, he's not unstructured, if you get what I mean, but he likes to he always plays what's in front of him.
Yeah, and I think that's, in that St. Helens team, I think that's what complements Makinson and Grace so much.
Yeah.
Is I don't know what I'm trying to say. Do you know that he just does it out of nowhere, like spontaneous?
Yeah.
Like he can make something happen out of nowhere.
When you watch the 2019 Grand Final against Salford, you watch his try. You know, they fling it out wide.
And then through.
All of a sudden he comes back inside. You know, it's not something that many players would think of doing. They try and sort of get around the centre.
I bet Amo's still gutted about that.
Oh yeah, he'd be livid. he'd be happy for him on the outside, but he'd want to kill him, I think, on the inside. But yeah, I think Percival, just because that sort of, I think they call it like ad-lib play. I just think that the Aussies and New Zealanders struggle with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because New Zealand and Australia are quite structured. I'll give you the privilege of giving our winger, because I want you to try and explain it.
This is one that's like controversial a little bit, but I think how we've looked at it is like, if we're trying to build around young players like Sean Wayne probably will want to do, I think if we're looking towards the NRL and bringing players in from there, I think you've got to put in Herbie Farnworth.
Yeah.
And I think the reasoning behind us choosing that is because how consistent he's played. I think in that Brisbane team, I think he's been the most consistent one, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's like when you watch him, it's good. It's exciting to watch him because you don't know what he's going to do. You know, he's quick on his feet. He's strong. He's not the biggest of lads, you know, but he seems to make meters. Obviously, confidence under high ball and that's going to come. But I think 2021 season, I think if he gets a full season now, whether he stays or goes to the Roosters, which it's rumoured, I think as long as he gets a full season out of it and stays fit, I think he could be up there with a shout.
I think what's going to help him though is like, even at this Brisbane team now, I think even when they're losing, I think that's what's going to hit him most. Like, you might be playing in Australia, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows, if you get what I mean.
It's going to be tough week in, week out.
Yeah, and I think that's what will help him.
Yeah, definitely. But when we did this, you know, and I said, didn't you? It's a bit controversial, this.
Yeah.
But
I think you look at it as well. Who else would you put in there? There's people like Joe Burgess and stuff like that. But
I can hear people shouting now: Liam Marshall from Wigan, Joe Burgess.
Yeah,
I get people shouting Ryan Hall, Jermaine McGilvray, and it's like, yeah, you know, fair play, McGilvray and Ryan Hall, they can score tries, but if Herbie can perform week in, week out for the next 2 years, I can't see why he wouldn't start.
I think we had a case, didn't we? We said about Ryan Hall, but we said about the fact that he's been out and he's not really had a chance to prove anything recently from him being injured. So I think it's a good opportunity, this World Cup, to finally bring the young players in. Like, even if Marshall's in as well, like it's still bringing the youth into it.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to help them is the fact that it's going to be a home crowd. And even if we have the young players playing, they're still going to be all okay because, like, obviously with the home crowd.
One thing I will say as well, which will help him, because people might say, well, he's used to playing in Australia, the weather and stuff. But I think the good thing with England Rugby League fans is they understand that they have to get behind the team.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help him. And he might look at it and go, gee, like, shit, this is a big deal.
The only thing
they want to success for it.
The only thing that's going to be a factor for like the young players is like the pressure of performing well at home World Cup, where like the pressure's on them to win it.
Yeah, but then at some point they're going to have to do it, aren't they? And
I think now's the best chance. I think you look at Australia; it's like they've got a good team, but I think
they're going through like a what would you like a transitions phase, really, isn't it?
Yeah, they've still got the good players, but they haven't got. Do you know that team they had with Thurston and Smith and all that?
Yeah, it's kind of like where do we go from this? In it, trying to find that sort of dynasty team, in it, really.
Yeah. So, moving on from Farnworth, going to our number 6. I think we both agreed on this because of how well he's been playing at the minute in the NRL.
Yeah,
I think George Williams will be a massive factor as well in the half pairing.
Hopefully, he can have 2 good seasons. He can stay fit.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say about Williams is, like, when he first got picked for England and it was against the Kiwis, and I'm not going to lie, I was a bit disappointed. I thought he was a bit quiet and in his shell. But I think going over to Canberra now and getting a bit more experience under his belt at Wigan, winning grand finals, World Club challenges, and like we said, at Canberra, I think he'll be up for it then.
I think that's what helps as well, like playing in Australia. You get a feel of what it's going to be like playing against the Australian team.
Yeah.
Because you're playing against them like each week.
Yeah, and you want to get one up on them, don't you, as well? That's always the main thing. But when you're playing alongside them and against them week in, week out, you want to get that. You want to get one up on them, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely he's got to be in there. Do you want me to take number 7, mate?
Yeah. Tell us who's going to complement Williams in the halves.
There's only one really at the minute, and that's Jackson Hastings. I'd go as far to say he's probably one of the best 7s in league right now.
Yeah. I think you look at his history, I think it's one of them, like, in playing for England, it's kind of a look at what you missed out on at Australia.
Yeah, definitely. But then that's the thing, innit? They've got that big of a depth pool for each position.
Yeah.
And I thought, Hastings had to be number 7. I just think he's quality. Like Percival, ad-lib football, just makes it up on spot what he has to do.
Well,
and I think him and Williams playing together.
It wasn't just him, but it's kind of the Soffer team last year. It was kind of pretty much a one-man band in the way all the players was coming off Hastings.
Yeah,
and the way he structured the team. I mean, it wasn't just him, obviously, but he's the main.
He led the
one
team,
of the main
didn't
factors.
Yeah. I think him and Williams' running game as well, because they both take it to the line. They've both got a good step on them. They're both quick. Both the kicking games are quality as well. I think they just complement each other quite well. I bet Wigan hope they would have been able to keep Williams and have Hastings next to him.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Thankfully,
I think he'll be one of them players that'll eventually he'll go back to the NRL, and I hope he does well.
See, I like him playing in the Super League. And I think this is where
the game suits him well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think this is where John Wilkin again has said it in the Out Here League podcast. This is where the salary cap fails, because Super League clubs can't offer big money to players if they want to keep a good team. So NRL can just offer them massive amounts to go and play
even
over
the
there.
Average salary for them is like the top salary over here.
Yeah. So, but hopefully he stays, because he's probably going to have a bit of success over playing for Wigan. But and it pains me to say that, but I hope he does stay in Super League for a bit at least.
Yeah. So, Callum, let's move on to other props. I think this is a bit more controversial.
Probably the toughest decision as well, really.
Yeah. I think the best way to do it is just to say...
Go on. I'll give you the honour because.
So we've gone with Alex Walmsley and Tom Burgess. I'll explain Tom Burgess. You to explain Walmsley.
Go on, I'll let you take the floor first on this one.
I think after Sam retired, I think it was time for another Burgess to step up between the twins. And quite clearly, you've seen that Tom has been the better one. I think the way he's been playing for the South team with him helping game meters and, get them into a flow to actually start winning games, I think it's kind of hard not to include him.
No,
and I know there's other players that can obviously, be in the squad like Thompson and Sutton and stuff like that. But I think the way Tom Burgess is playing at the minute, it's kind of harsh not to include him in the team.
No, I get that. And for me, we kind of did one each, didn't we, on this, which we hadn't done with the others. But for me, I put Walmsley in over Tomo because I think he's a bit overshadowed and I think he goes a bit underrated because of it. I think Alex Walmsley is an incredible player. For someone that's so tall, don't get me wrong, Tomo is a very athletic player for a forward and the size of him. But Walmsley's just big and tall. And I think, for me, I think he does the most damage in a game. Granted, he doesn't make these big breaks and things, but he shatters defence because he won't go. He won't, like I said, make breaks, but he attracts like 3 or 4 defenders, sometimes maybe even 5.
I think if you're looking when you're near the try line, I think if there's one player you look to, it's Walmsley.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it in the video earlier. Look at the Salford grand final for Saints v Salford.
Yeah,
the first try that Noel scored.
Yeah.
That came off the back of Walmsley having a couple of drives or one drive. The defence
ability to offload.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think what kind of hurt his reputation is like after the injury, like many people see you as like used and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's what it kind of is. It's like that in all sports, really, isn't it? Once you get a big injury like that, you're kind of seen as, he's going to explode at one point.
And I just want to say, this isn't us saying that Tomo won't be in the squad.
No, yeah, 100% will.
Who we think will be sort of basically the starting 13 in it. And we think we both kind of did agree on it was hard, like I said, hardest decision in the team, but Walmsley and Burgess, we said would be our ideal starting forwards.
And I think even with Thompson coming off the bench, I think that'll be one of the better options because obviously Tommy's not going to last very long. And you say like a 10-15 minute shift and then bring Thompson on.
Thompson's quick on his feet as well for a big bloke. So hopefully he has a good season. He has a good couple of seasons with the Bulldogs before it. And I think he'll just I think if it works out for him, he'll just become an unbelievable player.
Yeah, 100%.
With it.
So,
right, let's get off it because that's a touchy subject. That's a touchy subject.
Moving on to our hooker, we was kind of torn on this one as well, weren't we?
Yeah.
I think we've gone with Hodgson, but you look back at his international games that he's played, he's not like you look at him in NRL and he's like he's probably top 3 hookers.
Yeah.
And then you look at him when he plays it internationally, he's just different.
Yeah, it could be down to the Canberra pack. You never know. Like Canberra's pack is formidable, big lads. And I think England have struggled with that. I know they've had Graham and O'Loughlin and Burgess, but they've never had a dominant pack.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And I think that's where it comes into it. But we did say, didn't we, that Roby?
Yeah,
purely because Roby's a game changer.
Yeah, and I think his ability to pass the ball at any angle, whatever shape his body's at, he'll get the perfect ball off. And the fact he's played with most of these players, against them in the Super League.
And like I said with Roby, he can, if your team's getting knocked back a bit, all it takes is for him just to get out from dummy half, and he's got you at least 10 metres. And on the front foot. And he's solid in defence as well. He is solid in defence.
I think it's kind of hard for Sean Wayne to pick any others. But you know the logic between it. Like, Darryl Clark will end up in there, like you said before this.
Darryl, it does pay me to say it because I don't, and I'll go out and say it now. Darryl Clark couldn't lace Roby's boots.
Yeah, no. But I think that's what will happen. I don't think he
can lace Hodgson's, but yeah, it'll be him. I think thingy should. I've always said I think McShane from Castleford should always be in for a shout for an England shot at 9 because he's a tough player, you know, in his quality, but he just never seemed to got it. But yeah, it'll be. I reckon we both said, didn't we? Hodgson and Clark will go, but we'd take Roby if it was us.
And Roby and Hodgson.
Yeah.
So
every day a week.
Moving on to our second rowers. It's a Canberra second row pairing.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anyone else you could pick, really.
No, not really. We've gone with Whitehead and Bateman.
They speak for themselves, don't they?
Yeah. Well, Bateman last year, in his first year, he ended up Deli M second row of the year, didn't he?
Yeah. So, and Whitehead is just solid 80-minute second rower, does not wrong. Tough.
No, yeah.
Quick.
I think
good with his hands.
Yeah. I think, like we said, with the whole team, how it's set up, how we've predicted it, it's just a team based on like quick play and just gaining meters and possibly line breaks.
That's where we've caused Aussies problems in Kiwis before. You know, that sort of, we keep saying it about players, but ad-lib football, players that can keep the ball going and moving about, you know, they don't force it, they just play what's in front of them and don't think they have to score off every play. And Whitehead and Bateman do complement that. And one thing I will say, and I like about Bateman, is he don't take a back step. He'll get stuck into Aussies. He's not afraid of anyone. He'll go up against anyone.
He don't care about reputation. Once you're on the pitch, you're the same people.
Yeah, and I think that's what he'll be. Someone that he'll be like the enforcer on the pitch.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out with him over there as well.
Yeah, and hopefully his shoulder can stay intact as well.
Yeah,
and he can stay 100% fit for at least a season.
But I think we'll look at the pack that we've picked. I think it's certain that it can be a level or par with the Australian or New Zealand.
Most of the pack, if you think Tom Burgess, Tomo if they take him, Whitehead, Bateman and Hodgson, all NRL. It's an NRL pack, really.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So they'll have gone toe-to-toe with Aussie squad week in, week out.
Yeah, and we talk about the offence on this England team that we've picked, but you look at it and there's not many flaws in defence, really.
No, yeah.
I think you look at them and they're all strong-minded players that'll just get stuck in.
That's it. None of them take a back step, you know, they all give it a good go.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it'd be interesting if, going back to Falmouth, if he does get picked, it'd be interesting to see how he plays, though. Sorry, I'm just kind of fanboying at the
minute. I'll get you a talk with his number on back.
We'll move into the more harder decision, because that's what the 13 was. We're stuck on this.
See, because it's like we said, when it's 13, you look back, and you've always had a 13. You've had Farrell, Andy Farrell, Sculthorpe, Sean O'Loughlin, Sam Burgess.
Yeah.
James Graham can play 13. And now
it's kind of as if we're at a loss at the minute. Because we've got the young ones developing, like we said about Smithies, didn't we? But it's kind of a case of not proven at the minute.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say, like, he definitely deserves to be in the team. But
I think if he has a good couple of seasons with Wigan, he'll definitely go over.
Yeah.
He'll definitely go into the team.
Well, it's going to be one of them, isn't it? He's going to have to replace Sean O'Loughlin next year, so.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to
fill that.
If you'd like to share anyway.
So we've had to go. We decided on Milner. Like I said, Smithies was in the conversation, wasn't he?
I think it's not a bad shout. Like, I think he's a very good player.
He's a solid player, solid in defence at 80 minutes. I think he is. he is a rugby league player. Now his name
Yeah,
is probably not as big name. His name isn't as big as most in the pack, definitely. But I think he does a solid job for Cass. He'd do a solid job for England.
like we said, like in the Super League, it's kind of hard in the loose forward position at the minute. Like we've got Sean O'Loughlin still, but he's retiring. But I'd definitely say Milner's top 3.
Oh, definitely. You've got to think though, if the likes of James Graham's still going next year, and he does say that he wants to play in the World Cup and then retiring,
yeah,
you'd probably think that he'd play 13.
Yeah,
and maybe Milner off the bench.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I think you look at Australia, like how we said, they've got superstar players, and then they've got like normal players. Whereas England, it's not necessarily the same case.
Yeah, they're not big names, are they?
We've got some that are standing out and blossoming in the NRL at the minute, but we've just got no superstar name.
Should I admit who I put in at first?
Where at?
At 13. And you told me, no, I have to change it. I'd put Victor Radley in there. I thought, why not? He'll play for England, win England the first World Cup in rugby league. He'll be named as, he'll get a knighthood by the Queen. Sir Victor Radley. That's what I pictured, but
the only way I said that, I said, because there's no way he's going to turn down playing for Australia and playing for New South Wales, especially at the minute. There's no doubt he'll get into that Aussie squad.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, the way he's playing at minute, he'll be in bloody New South Wales squad as well, without a shadow of doubt. Without a shadow of doubt.
What do you want to do, Victor? Do you want to play for England or do you want to play for Australia in Origin?
He might say Origin then, but if you say, do you want to play for England, win us our World Cup and get a knighthood by Queen Elizabeth, then I know what I'm taking. Sack the Blues. I'm going playing for...
No, it's more... Do you want to play for Australia, play for New South Wales and get a kiss off Brad Fittler? Yeah, go on then. I'll have
that. Do you want ultimate victory or endless despair? You take your pick. we won't tell you the team that they lead to, but there's your options. I think we need to leave it. I think that's it.
So that is our predicted team. We haven't gone into the benches because you kind of can judge the players we've missed out. They'll probably be on the bench anyway or in the starting.
We named a couple, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it's a good team. I think we can definitely win, especially how we performed in 2017 when we got to the final and only lost 6-0.
Yeah.
I think, like we said at the beginning, it's our best shout next year's World Cup.
And it's a team bagged with experience and youth.
Yeah.
Which is always a good settler for you.
And with it being at home as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Home advantage. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the video and make sure you like, you comment down who you'd pick if you disagreed. I know you're going to disagree with us. And hit the notification bell so you know when we upload. But anything you want to say, Cam?
No, I think that's about sums it up.
Well,
peace, guys.
Stay safe, guys. Take care.